then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically, and Clyde Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Look, Clive Davis is not here to respond to that, nor is Jay Z. But a lot of people, famous people in the music industry, have been notable, like I say, by their silence so far.
Do you know how 50 Cent just can't resist stirring the pot? Well, he's been going after the Beyonce and Jay Z power couple a lot lately, calling them out for some, let's just say, questionable actions. 50 Cent is about to spill Jay Z and Beyonce's darkest secret. Just how far have they gone? And how many people have they hurt to stay on top?
So Beyonce jumped down on you.
She jumped down. She was like on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, I come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped out. She was like, duh, duh, duh. And I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. Don't come on.
So Hov wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
Talking to Jay.
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped out, came over. I said, oh shit, look at this.
They about to jump you.
Nah, she came like she was ready. Like I thought something was gonna happen. And I'm like, yo.
Apparently, Jay-Z's obsession with Basquiat's iconic hair and artistic vibe isn't sitting well with 50. He even went as far as labeling Jay as trying to look like a gay painter. He's talking about Basquiat, who's actually a legend in the art world. But to 50, it's all just an opportunity to mock Jay's tough guy persona. This feud really sparked after the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, when 50 got the cold shoulder from the lineup, something he firmly blames on Jay-Z's influence. Jay-Z's been pulling off this whole Basquiat-inspired look and referencing him in his music and public persona, like he's some kind of living artwork. But to 50, it's less about the art and more about Jay trying too hard, making it easy for him to take shots. Look like a gay painter. That's 50 playing to the hyper-masculine hip-hop crowd, reminding them that Jay's artsy obsession might just be a little too much to handle. The irony? While the art community reveres Basquiat as a symbol of rebellion and depth, 50 is out here flipping it to question Jay's whole persona.
Been around about people for a long time. You've been hearing little things about him. And have I heard little shit about Jay Z? Yup. Do I think that he's trying to emulate himself and present himself as a gay painter, like to look like Basquiat? Yup, I do. I think 50 Cent was right about that. I think that's a code to, especially the white people, that he's approachable, he's cultured, but Basquiat was also bisexual.
But 50 doesn't stop there. He's also throwing major shade about the weird parties Jay Z and others, like Diddy, are supposedly hosting. When 50 says weird, you can bet he's hinting at something darker.
He said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out. No, dude, take me. That's what the guy says to me.
I asked 50 about that. And he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
The guy is practically an expert at sowing suspicion, especially when it comes to his rivals in the entertainment industry. It's like he's trying to peel back the curtain and expose the underbelly of what he thinks goes on in the world of the rich and famous, all while making sure everyone knows just how much he's not part of it.
And it's like, why? Then you make a song about Tom Ford. That's another homosexual designer. What is this all about? Like, I don't know when heterosexuals started bigging up homosexuals, starting trying to dress like them, do their hair like them, and making songs about them. I'm just saying.
We all know 50 Cent loves beefing with people. He's made a career out of it. And while these attacks on Jay-Z are nothing new, they do feel more pointed, more like 50 is trying to pull apart the whole facade that Jay's built up over the years. He's not just aiming at the art and the fashion, he's aiming at the heart of Jay's image, trying to reveal a softer, maybe more vulnerable side that's a far cry from the hustler persona Jay's always projected. As for Beyonce, she's mostly stayed out of 50's line of fire, but that hasn't stopped her from showing up when she feels like Jay needs defending. According to 50, There was a time when Queen Bey literally jumped out at him, ready to throw hands for her man. He paints it as kind of funny, like she came at him with all her fierceness, making him step back for a moment. It's one of those moments that reminds you just how much of a united front Jay and Bey are, despite all the drama swirling around them.
Thank you.
Then there's the time when 50 Cent joked about Beyonce's Cowboy Carter project. After she decided to dip her toes in the country music scene, he thought it'd be hilarious to one-up her with his own fake country track, calling it Conway 50. It's classic trolling, poking fun, and not taking anything too seriously, even when it comes to the reigning queen of pop. But his digs are getting more daring, especially with what he's insinuating about Beyonce's involvement in Diddy's notorious freak-off parties. According to him, Bey isn't just attending. She's apparently helping organize these wild celebrity get-togethers. These kinds of comments are designed to stir the pot, making people question the clean, untouchable image that Bey has always tried to maintain. He's not letting Jay off the hook either. With Diddy's legal issues looming, serious stuff like intimate trafficking investigations, he's implying that Jay might want to watch his step. If one of their circle is falling, it's only a matter of time before others are dragged down too. It's all about making Jay look guilty by association, playing off the idea that all these guys are part of the same shady circle, and if one's exposed, they're all vulnerable. While this sounds like your typical tabloid nonsense at first, there's more than meets the eye. Over the years, Beyonce has carefully built an image of being fiercely protective of her family, her brand, and her career. Some argue that she's much more involved in Jay Z's public decisions and business moves than she lets on. Think about it. She's not just a passive figure in the background. Whether it's in their music or in their business ventures, Beyonce has her fingerprints all over their empire. So when Jay Z's reputation is at stake, it's not hard to imagine her stepping in to manage the situation. Let's not forget that the couple's response to these rumors has been curiously measured. After Jaguar Wright made explosive claims about their involvement in some dark stuff during her interview with Piers Morgan, Beyonce and Jay Z's legal team sprang into action, getting the most damaging parts of the interview removed. It wasn't just a simple denial. They took active steps to control what got out there. And while they've publicly denied any wrongdoing, their decision to stay mostly quiet has led many to wonder if there's more to the story than they're willing to admit. People who buy into these theories often point to the way Beyonce is treated in the entertainment world. It's not just admiration. It's almost like reverence. At award shows, fellow artists go out of their way to praise her, as if they're afraid of falling out of favor. Kanye West's infamous interruption at the VMAs, where he declared that Beyonce had the greatest video of all time, is one example that gets thrown around. Another is Adele's decision to literally break her Grammy in half and dedicate it to Beyonce in 2017. It's moments like these that make people wonder if Beyonce is quietly pulling strings behind the scenes, shaping not just her own image, but the way others are perceived in the industry. And let's not forget about the Super Bowl drama. He claims that Jay Z tried to keep him off the 2022 halftime show. The only reason he even got on stage, according to him, was because Eminem threatened to pull out if he wasn't included. It's classic 50, making sure we all know that even when Jay is supposedly in control, he's got people who've got his back. And of course, he's using this story to make Jay look petty, like he's going out of his way to keep others down.
I like to, the curation to like Super Bowl, I like to go into cities and not just take from and leave, something there. So, having Shakira and J-Lo in Miami, with a strong representation of Latino population, and then having Dre and them in LA, kids from Compton, Kendrick from Compton, Snoop from Long Beach. That's super important to me. So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Well, we can't wait either.
And now, with Diddy facing serious charges, he is not missing a beat. He's dragging Jay Z right into it, calling him out for staying silent, while his buddy Diddy is in hot water. He's even joked about Jay Z going into hiding until all this blows over. It's another chance to paint Jay as the guy who'll disappear the moment things get tough, leaving others to face the music alone. Rumors have also started flying about Jay Z's own skeletons. Remember those old stories about his alleged inappropriate relationship with Foxy Brown back in the day? Well, those are making the rounds again. Plus, there's that ongoing drama with Rymir Satterthwaite, who claims Jay is his dad. He's using all of this to remind people that maybe Jay's not as untouchable as he seemed.
Then I felt that cover was too. I wanted to change my image and go in a different direction, and she put that on the cover. And I had a fit, and everybody loved it. And I'm like,
and it's not just about the past. Jaguar writes out here making even more claims, suggesting Jay and Bey have been covering up a lot of dirty laundry in the industry. And even though Piers Morgan had to apologize after airing these accusations, the damage is done, the rumors are out there, and people are talking. Meanwhile, 50's also turned his attention to Diddy. He's been saying for years that Diddy's parties were shady, and now that Diddy's facing real legal trouble, 50's feeling pretty vindicated. He's all over social media, reminding everyone that he tried to warn them about Diddy. He's got a Netflix documentary in the works to expose everything. It's like 50 wants to be the guy who takes down an empire, and he's going to make sure everyone knows just how dirty the game really is. According to 50, the reason so many people in the industry are keeping quiet about Diddy is because they're scared. Maybe they've been involved in stuff they shouldn't have been, and now they're worried about what might come to light. But 50? He's been keeping his distance for years, or at least that's what he wants us to believe. He's made it clear that he's not afraid to speak out, especially now when the tables are turning. 50 Cent's still the same guy who loves a good feud, and he's using his platform to throw punches left and right. But beyond the memes and the trolling, there's a sense that maybe he really does want to expose some of the call-outs or anything to go by. He seems determined to peel back those layers of perfection. He's going after the power dynamics, the unspoken agreements, the kind of insider privileges that have protected people like Jay Z and Diddy for so long.
Start from over here, bunch of circle full of, you know what I'm hitting. Not that bag up. This a fool.
Of course, it's not like 50 Cent is some kind of moral authority. He's done his fair share of questionable things, and he's got his own skeletons rattling in the closet. But that's part of his appeal. He doesn't pretend to be anything but what he is. He's flawed, he's loud, and he's willing to get messy. And maybe that's why his constant jabs resonate with people. He's willing to say what others won't, to point out the hypocrisy he sees around him, even if his motivations aren't entirely pure. And let's talk about Beyonce for a minute. She's often portrayed as untouchable, this perfect blend of talent, beauty, and grace. But 50's trying to chip away at that image too, by suggesting she's involved in organizing Diddy's controversial
Now she's with God.
And then there's the Super Bowl story. Entirely.
Life, even at the risk of my own success, my own career, I can sit here to give y'all the truth. Jay Z called me bro. Please don't sit him at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
The rivalry between 50 Cent and Jay Z isn't just about personal slights or petty beef. It's about two different approaches to fame, success, and power. Jay Z spent years cultivating a certain image. The businessman, the mogul, the guy who went from hustling on the streets to sitting at the table with billionaires. 50, on the other hand, has always positioned himself as the outsider, the disruptor. He's not interested in playing by the same rules, and he seems to take pleasure in tearing down the images others have worked so hard to build. And as for the rumors about And 50's making sure we don't forget that he's not the only one with skeletons. He's been clear that he's done some dirt, but he owns it. He doesn't hide behind a curated image or pretend to be something he's not. In a way, his transparency, flawed as it is, makes his callouts of Jay Z, Beyonce, and Diddy hit a little harder. He's not claiming to be better. He's just saying they're not as perfect as they seem. It'll be interesting to see how far 50 Cent is willing to take this. He's already talking about a Netflix documentary, and if it's anything like the way he's been acting on social media, it's going to be explosive. He's hinted at former members of Diddy's inner circle being ready to speak out, and if that's true, it could really shake things up. For 50, this is about more than just feuding with Jay Z or throwing shade at Beyonce. It's about exposing the darker side of the industry, the part that no one wants to talk about. And maybe that's why, despite all the trolling and the drama, people keep tuning in to see what 50 does next. Because even if he's messy, even if his motivations aren't always pure, he's still willing to ask the questions and make the accusations that others are too scared to voice. He's willing to risk backlash, to be the bad guy, if it means getting people to look a little closer at the power dynamics in play. 50 Cent just exposed that the couple's rise to the top wasn't just talent or hard work. There were dark deals, betrayals, and even deaths involved. One of the wildest claims out there is that they had something to do with the tragic deaths of industry icons like Aaliyah, Michael Jackson, and Left Eye. Fans claim Aaliyah, in particular, was in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.